Okay, well, thanks for inviting me to this chat. There have been a lot of things happening on since Stratosphere came out. It came out in June of 2012, I guess, so just not quite a year. And one of the big questions is the key questions are what are the big ideas? That's one question. The second one is what are people doing about it, or what should people do about it? So let me take each of those in turn. The big ideas in Stratosphere, and we have, I guess I'll say, sharpened them since then. They're really uh, three things that we're trying to come together in a focus on learning. One is I'm going to call them the deep learning goals. So the deep learning goals in a subsequent paper I did for the government, the Ontario government, that many people know about now. It's called From Grade to Excellent, the next phase of or stage of Ontario's reform. And I identified the six C's there. So that's what I mean by the deep learning goals. The six C's are communication, critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, character education, and citizenship. The Hewlett Foundation calls them the deep learning goals, although they don't necessarily have all six. 21st century skills normally have most of those skills, but not often character education and citizenship. So the centerpiece, if you like, in terms of learning outcomes are the deep learning goals. And then intersecting with this, if you think of a Venn diagram, are the pedagogies, we call them sometimes the new pedagogies, that would be required for those goals to flourish. And the pedagogies um, are basically, you can describe it as the new learning partnership between students and teachers, excuse me, and among students and among teachers. So what does that mean? It means that students are more in charge of their own learning, but not completely independent of each other or from the teacher. It means that the teacher is a change agent. One of the things I cite sometimes is John Hattie's cluster of teacher as facilitator versus teacher as activator. And the facilitator role, which is the guide on the side, I'm going to say, is too passive. You need to have a teacher, you need to have a pedagogue. The teacher as activator is about the design of the work, the feedback, overseeing what students are doing, ensuring that students are able to work with each other, accessing what they need, all of those things. So that there's quite, although it's the early stage where the work we're doing now with some colleagues is to actually set out to define what those respective roles actually are and mean. So that's the second big idea. And the third one is technology. What's the role of technology as an accelerator or I guess I'll say deepening the learning? And as I said in the book, the history of technology has been mainly one of acquisition. You buy more and more. It hasn't been one of how do we figure it in relation to pedagogy. So what's happened, what I said in the book is that these three things have to, the deep learning goals, uh, the uh, the new pedagogy, and the way in which technology plays a role needs to be synergized for this to really work. And then the last idea in the book is about the change process, which I'm not going to say too much about it, this first question at least, but it is about at the micro level, it's what school principals and teacher leaders and others do to bring about implementation. At the macro level, let's say the district or the province level, it's the policies, the strategies, the support systems, how to get accountability right. So the change syndrome then is part of that big idea question.